Hi, I'm now going to cover the topic of how to add a satellite onto the satellite list. Okay, now this comes from an interesting query where we've sold a satellite meter recently to Australia. So I'm going to add on actually an Optus satellite to the list here. So we go in here and we look at the list. We'll see anyway that the satellites that come automatically on it are the ones for sort of Europe and Asia, but certainly no southern hemisphere ones. So what we can do at this particular point in time is we can go, the last option is simply new satellite. So if we go to option 71, new satellite, and then option 0. So we'll go to new satellite, click OK, and it asks us what angle is the satellite at. So I've gone on to LinkSat and I've printed off the new satellite here. It's Optus D1 at 160 degrees east. So I simply come along and I enter 1600. So 160 degrees. We'll put it to east and KU band and then OK. So that's it. So it asks me what name would I like to give it. So I'll come along and we'll call it Optus. U and S and what do you call it? What we can do now is we can simply put a space in here and now come to D1. So D and 1 here. So I'll go here and now I press OK. And at that point I've added on the satellite, and so that part of it is complete. So the next step then would be to actually add on the individual transponders that make up that satellite, okay? So if we go in here anyway and we come down to transponder, we'll just go new transponder and I just go OK here, and it asks me for the frequency we'd like to set it to. So once again, looking at the LinkSat printout here, I can come along and I can enter in the frequency for Sky New Zealand, we'll say, okay? So what we'll do here is we just come along and I can see it's 1, 2, 2, 6, 7. I come down along then and I can see it's horizontal, and then I can see that the frequency on this particular one is 22550. So we can simply come along here and go 22500. And the error correction rate on it will depend from transponder to transponder, but on this one here it seems to be 3.4. Okay, so we'll just come down here and we'll just go, now just see what the options here are actually. Auto, well auto probably a better way to go there because it cover all the things, and we just go OK. So now we've added them on and we can continue in a similar vein and keep adding all the transponders that are of interest to us. But to actually lock onto a satellite, normally you only need one transponder, but you know, you may want to add them on for completeness sake. So it's a pretty straightforward thing. You can see how easy it is there. That was one of the first times I've actually ever done that now, and it still only took me a few minutes to add both the satellite and the first transponder. So that's another great feature of the S10 meter, how flexible it is and how it can be programmed to work anywhere in the world.